So hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the finale of what potentially could be this series on our F1 Manager 24 Season 2 here at Team Lotus. Now, if you didn't watch the last episode in Qatar, it was a tough watch, I'm not going to lie. From a team principal point of view, Lando Norris won the Drivers' World Championship. Oscar Piastri finished in P2 and Verstappen made up the rest of the podium. It was P18 and 19 for the Team Lotus boys. Now, in terms of the standings and what is to play for here at Abu Dhabi, in Ferrari and Aston Martin, we've got two constructors battling for P3 in the constructors standings. Williams, Alpine, Sauber, Lotus, RB and Haas could all potentially get P6 in the constructors standings. Driver standings wise, Lando Norris has the world title. Piastri and Verstappen are battling it out for P2. Leclerc and Sainz are battling it out for P4. It must be said Fittipaldi could jump up to as high as Alexander Albon and Checo Perez with a stonking win, but it's very unlikely that'll happen. Dennis Hauger has a single point. Could he add to that in his final race for Team Lotus? Of course, we go to Abu Dhabi for the final Grand Prix of the year at the Yas Marina circuit. No sprint weekend, just 58 laps around here. Car attributes, acceleration and top speed, very, very useful. And our top speed's quite good. We might be all right at this circuit. The expected strategy is a two-stop or a one-stop, depending on your tyre wear. And ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do is, if we get sacked after this episode, we'll do like a review and see what happened next season and sim it through, but we will end the series there. If we stay on, we'll have a look and see what we can do. But for the final time, let's get through practice and I'll see you in qualifying for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I mean, could we have had any worse start to the finale? Fittipaldi has crashed at turn 5. Let's have a little look at this. In Q1, he just carries on, spins off and crashes into the wall. Very disappointing for Enzo Fittipaldi. He's going to have to come in and get that front wing changed. But my word, what a bad start to qualifying. Final laps in Q1 then, and it must be said Dennis Hauger is having a rather nice time. He's in P18 at the minute, but he's green through the first and second sectors. I think Hauger could possibly get into Q2 here, and to be fair, it's been a little while since he has done. It must be said Fittipaldi's actually got some chassis damage as well as the front wing, so we're going to see where he manages to put that car. But he's got P16 at the moment, Hauger. As we fast forward on, Hauger's still just in P16. Is he going to manage to get into Q2? I think he is, and Hauger is into Q2. Fittipaldi P19 with chassis damage. We'll get that sorted out, but let's see if Hauger can improve on 16th. Final laps then in Q2 for Dennis Hauger. This is his one and only run. Where can he put this Lotus car? I'd hopefully expect him to beat Logan Sargent. He does, and he goes P15. So Hauger P15 on the day in Q2. Let's have a little look at who will be starting on pole position for tomorrow's feature race. If we just go to Q3 results, it will be Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri will be the front row lockout. McLaren, Pierre Gasly in P3. Leclerc and Sainz both have got grid penalties, so Stroll and Russell will move forward. Let's have a look at what tyres we'll be using for Sunday's race. Here we go then, ladies and gents. P11 for Hauger, P17 for Fittipaldi. Both starting on the soft, then medium, and then softs again. We've got the hards, should there be a well-timed safety car. But let's get to our final race at Lotus.
Well then, it's not long until we get started here, and we should be in for a tightly contested race. Sauber's driver, focused on the race ahead.
It's going to be difficult for them. P18, that's going to be tough to make an impression on the race from there.
So let's see what today has in store, shall we? Hold on tight. It's the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And away we go. Dennis Hauger is the one we are focusing on the soft compounder tyres to start. Fittipaldi down in P16 already, looking to make up positions, but Hauger in P11 already gets forced massively wide by Esteban Ocon. Little bit of inexperience there, and that is not ideal at all when he's got a flying Carlos Sainz behind him. Piastri and Norris leading away from George Russell, Pierre Gasly and Lance Stroll in P4 and 5. Then comes Hulkenberg in P6. Can you imagine George Russell is going to be driving at a Lotus car next season? Will we be the team principal? We will have to see. But Dennis Hauger P12 at the moment and Fittipaldi P16. Dennis Hauger is realising that he's in a false position here, and Sainz and Leclerc have both just managed to get past him. Carlos Sainz didn't even really need DRS. My word, look at that for a slingshot from the Red Bull driver. Leclerc got past him as well. Now Hauger and Fittipaldi are together on track, so maybe they can work together here, the two Lotus drivers, to improve. Oscar Piastri sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Of course, he's in a battle with Max Verstappen, who is down in P19 at the moment on the hard compound tyres. Lap 3, Norris now leads. Could this be a significant moment in the Drivers' Championship battle for P2, because Oscar Piastri has got a mechanical fall, but I'm sure Lando Norris will play the team game and help his teammate along. Meanwhile, Verstappen is starting to work his way through the pack, and he's just got past one Lotus in Dennis Hauger. Is he about to get past another in Enzo Fittipaldi? We could do with Verstappen getting past him here, so then we can get the DRS going in to the big straight and the DRS zones. But Fittipaldi's actually been burning fuel as well, so we're just going to calm that down a little bit. But P16, P14 at the moment, Norris still leads. We've seen Bottas and Porsche coming in. We're just picking up the pace with Hauger. We're going to switch the strategy with Hauger. He's going to go soft, medium, hard now. We might switch Fittipaldi onto that as well, it must be said. But at the moment, P15, P13, optimal pit lap for Hauger. Dennis Hauger is the first Lotus car to pit, coming in from P11 when he pit. I think it'll be very interesting to see where he comes out here. He's onto a set of medium compounded tyres. We've switched Fittipaldi back to the soft, medium softs. We're going to try something a little bit different with Fittipaldi, and in the hope that it can catapult him forward in the standings. Bottas and Porsche are past Hauger, but as he comes out of the tunnel, I do like this pit exit. I think it's fantastic, by the way. But Hauger now onto the medium compounded tyre. Where is he going to come out? He comes out in P19. Alexander Albon is behind him, but he's got a little bit of clean air. 3.9 seconds now for Hauger. He can be aggressive, though, now towards the midpoint of this Grand Prix. Fittipaldi is into the pits. It must be said, Fittipaldi had a very good couple of in-laps. We left him out a couple of laps because he was getting the DRS, which I think was really worthwhile, because that DRS just managed to extend that stint, which means he can go a bit harder on the mediums or the softs towards the end. So Fittipaldi out in P17, Haugen out to P16. At the front, Verstappen is in P2, but Lando Norris leading the Grand Prix. He's got a pit stop over Verstappen. It looks like Lando Norris is going to comfortably win this, and Piastri is looking at very, very good value for P2 in the driver's standings. Just to have a look at the constructor standings, of course, we are watching this battle between Aston Martin and Ferrari, and at the moment Ferrari are doing just enough to stay in P3. You join us back just over halfway. Lando Norris is leading, but Lance Stroll is in P2 and Gasly is in P4. Lawson in P8 and Leclerc in P11 mean that the constructors standings wise at the minute, Aston Martin are only 5 points behind Ferrari. So if Lawson drops out of the points and Gasly could gain another position, could it be possible that Aston Martin get P3? I think we're rooting for Aston Martin at this moment in time. Hauger's in P18, Fittipaldi in P20. It's not really working for either of them at this moment in time. Both working hard, but can't really get the just rewards. We really need a safety car for this to get a little bit entertaining for our guys, but it's all eyes on what Gasly and Stroll can do. We've finally got an overtake. Dennis Hauger has got Zhou Guanyu. Let's have a little look at this, and DRS helping out there, manages to get him into that chicane. Fair play to Hauger. He does then get just a good enough exit there to get away from the Haas, who is on 35% softs, really struggling at the moment. Hauger's going to be coming in the next couple of laps. Fittipaldi, got a little bit of a longer stint at the moment, then he's going to be onto softs towards the end. But lap 36, Norris still leads now. Sainz in P2 and Gasly in P3. Hauger into the pits, as is Perez, as is Bottas, as is Zhou Guanyu. Hard compound tyres for the Lotus car. Let's see what Zhou Guanyu goes onto as well. It's a decent stop from our team. Let's have a look. Zhou Guanyu also onto hards. Perez is out on hard compound tyres. A lot of cars there onto the hard compound, but Hauger will come out in front of Zhou Guanyu on a fresh set of hard compound tyres. Pit window is open for Fittipaldi. Another 3 or 4 laps to go. Fittipaldi is into the pits. We're going to just watch this overtake from Hauger on Zhou Guanyu. Let's have a little look now at this one. He manages to get him DRS enabled. Fair play to Dennis Hauger, still fighting in his last race, possibly in Formula 1, and Hauger's made a decent overtake there. Let's have a little look at Fittipaldi's pit stop now, coming in for the soft compound tyres. We are going to have a run at the fastest lap here as well when we come out onto these soft compound tyres, so we're going to save his ERS battery up and then move it on from there. But Fittipaldi, if we just fast forward it on a little bit as he comes out of the pits, as Stroll just sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, a 1:25.2, we can see that Fittipaldi has to get out of the way of the two cars fighting at the front, which is Gasly and Norris, but Fittipaldi will try the fastest lap attempt on the next lap. Lap 46, Gasly and Stroll, P2 and P3 at the moment. Gasly's got to pit again. Unfortunately, it would mean at the moment, if it stayed as it was, Aston Martin would beat Ferrari by a single point. But Gasly has got to pit again. He could really do with a safety car now, could Pierre Gasly. Hauger's still in P18 fighting with Zhou Guanyu. Fittipaldi is closing up to these two as well. So we're going to have a battle towards the end. We are miles away from Albon and Ocon. So P18 is the best today, but it's all eyes on this battle for the constructors. Hauger and Zhou have been swapping positions all day long, and both cars got out of the way of the Red Bull, and then Hauger managed to get his foot down better, and it's brought Fittipaldi right into play here. But Dennis Hauger getting the DRS as well. That has proved very, very nicely for our guys. 7/10 of a second, Zhou just about sticking in there. We're going to have a three-way fight between these guys at the end, but Norris still leading. Sainz in P2, Stroll in P3, Gasly's now in P4. Could he possibly make up that gap towards the top guys? Stranger things have happened. Fittipaldi and Hauger's just been told, get past Zhou Guanyu and you can fight it out towards the end, you two. One last battle at Lotus between these teammates, and as you can see, they both managed to get past Zhou Guanyu. So that is job done on getting past Zhou Guanyu. They're now trying to push away. They've nearly broken the DRS of Zhou Guanyu as well, as Fittipaldi really pushing on now. Both cars really pushing on for a final lap, but Norris is, what, 11 seconds clear of Sainz. We have got Norris will be coming on to his final lap shortly. These two guys have been lapped. Vesti's 2 laps down as well. Lot to look at now on this final lap. Final lap then of the Grand Prix. We can see that Norris is going to win it at a canter, so we are going to focus all our attentions on Fittipaldi and Hauger, because Fittipaldi is leading, but Hauger is in P19. Just enjoy this last lap, this last bit of competitive racing as these two as teammates. And my word, Hauger went for it there. We've both got ERS. They've both pushing on the tyres. It is full throttle racing from the two Lotus drivers, as Fittipaldi now has the DRS wide open on this final lap in Abu Dhabi. What can he do? Can he get past? Can he get past Dennis Hauger in this final sector? There's not many overtaking opportunities for the young Brazilian, and it must be said, I've enjoyed managing these two young drivers this year. Fittipaldi has done particularly well. Hauger in his rookie season really started off strongly in this Lotus. They've not had a very good car, but this team in Norfolk look destined for good things next season, whether I'm here or not. And Fittipaldi, as they come round the final corner, it's going to be Hauger who takes the spoils in Abu Dhabi. Fittipaldi P19, world champion Lando Norris. Piastri may have lost P2 in the standings. We'll come to that in a little while, but let's get to the podium.
Today, Lando Norris has made the team's dream a reality.
What a brilliant race that was for the team. They just did everything right, the driver included, of course.
We may see these kind of scenes a lot in Formula 1, but it's easy to forget just what it means to the whole team. Lando Norris certainly loves a podium, heading up there now to celebrate again.
Lando Norris flanked by two Red Bull drivers. Now, we did get a little notification at the end there. I think Piastri may have retired on the final lap. Let's have a little look. Did he? He did retire, so this is crucial now, because Lando Norris wins. Sainz P2 and Verstappen P3. Then came Stroll, Gasly, Russell, Bottas, 14 positions gained. Liam Lawson got P8, Leclerc P9 and Hülkenberg P10. Oscar Piastri finished outside of the points. Drivers standings wise, Max Verstappen was 4 points behind Oscar Piastri at the end. I thought he might have got him, but he didn't. Carlos Sainz jumped Charles Leclerc on the final day. Fittipaldi finished P14. Dennis Hauger finished P19. So that is how your drivers standings finishes up. Gasly P6, Stroll P7, Russell and Bottas P8 and P9, and Lawson in P10. Not really good enough from the young Kiwi driver. Constructor standings wise, McLaren won it, 915 points in the end from Red Bull, 723 for them. Ferrari maintained P3 over Aston Martin. Mercedes P5, then came Williams in P6, Alpine P7, Sauber P8, then came us, Team Lotus in P9 with RB and Haas below us. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that is the finish of the season. Now, that's going to be the end of the races for this season. There's going to be one more episode, and that may be a roundup of what we've achieved on these F1 Manager games if we don't manage to stay as team principal. But look out for that video coming very soon. But thank you so much for sticking with us during this series. Please do remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Ta-ra!